Wait, they were like, what?
And I was like, boss, please. Hey, bosses, it's Jillian.
And Meghan.
And we're here to bring you a Boss Confidential.
And you know what, Jill, that we're doing that's so different from what we normally do?
Tell me.
We're sipping vino
Oh.
as we're... Cheers! We never do that. Like, we'll have water or we'll have coffee or whatever. But, you know, we've been just bossing all day. And
Yeah, I've had a long day.
It's that time. It's like, it's just 5 o'clock now. Okay, so
Yes.
we're good.
Okay, we're good. Listen, we deserve it, okay?
We do deserve it.
I know we like to get honest on this podcast, but I started thinking along the lines of, you know, this like saying, if you love them, let them go. And that's geared towards a person specifically. But then I started thinking, are there things in our lives that we've loved and then had to let go? Not necessarily quit, but just for our own well-being have had to let it go, like a job, friends, bad habits. So I kind of wanted to explore that version of it instead of the lover version of it, which
this
is
deep.
I
And
think
I'm so glad I have some vino in me right now.
yeah.
You know, a lot of it had to do with I associate what we're talking about, like you just said, with dating. You know, there's been, I mean, before Garrett, y'all know my dating story, and I had to let a lot of things go because I thought, oh my gosh, every guy that came to me was the love of my life, and had to let it go. But I think and maybe I think you can definitely relate to this. I think what we had to let go of is definitely not the love of our parents, but it's the security and the what am I trying to say? We had to let go of being a little bit so close to them, so attached when we moved out here, because I never thought that I could be without my mom and dad. Like, I was very much a homebody. I never thought that I would move across the country and do things on my own. But you love people so much that you're almost afraid to let them go because you're afraid it's going to hurt them more than you. But you have to get over that. And you and I both had to just let it go and do what was best for us. And that's the hardest thing about our industry is letting go of what you think other people are going to think and just doing things for you, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think
I just
Meghan
almost
just hit her
knocked over
wine
my
glass.
wine. I'm like a mess. Okay.
There are candles lit. I'm afraid there's going to be a fire. Meghan already had a fire in her apartment.
Oh my
this
gosh,
week.
I didn't even tell you about that.
Maybe that could be your boss moment.
That could be my boss moment. Yes.
But I don't know. I try to look at things the glass half full way, and I know that there are certain things in my life that I need to do, but it is very hard to do. So I feel like letting go of certain friendships has really helped me, I don't know, elevate myself, elevate the people around us. I think for so long I felt obligated to be friends with certain people just because there was a long history there. Just because they knew a lot about me. But I really had to examine, you know, like, okay, what is this friendship? Is it reciprocal? It's not. Okay, cool. Do I always feel like I'm the one reaching? Yes. Do they ever mention the fact that they're not available? No. Would I ever even see this person if I didn't make plans with them? No. So there comes a time, and I think I realized this too in my wedding invites.
Yeah.
Because I really had to think, like, okay, who are the people that I really want there? The people that I know will appreciate being there, the people that have seen our love. And I do feel like when it comes closer to my wedding and people don't get invitations, I do think that there's going to be maybe a text or a phone call. But at the same time, it's like, you know, you can't, if you want to be in my life, be in my life. I always preach this to my single friends. It's like, if somebody wants to hang out with you, they will hang out with you. They will move mountains to hang out with you. But if they don't want to see you. They don't care to see you.
Yeah.
They're okay with the social media version of you.
Yeah. And Jill, you say that, and I'm thinking, and a lot of things make sense, but you are still you have so many friends in a genuine way. Like, you are like a good person. You reach out to a lot of people, and I think the people that are in your life now are the people that you're like, these reciprocate. But I commend you, because not many people have a big a people that they can
Like have
never
a big
drinking wine
circle,
together.
you mean?
Yes,
Yeah.
and you do.
Yeah.
I mean, even for a lot of our podcast guests, they come from friendships that you have maintained for a long time, and that's super admirable. I feel like I drop and start friendships. I'm going to say a lot. However, I feel like over the past 5 years, I've tried to just be consistent with the ones that are there for me, but have people fallen along the way? Absolutely. And you and I think we're coming to terms during that same time about it being okay to let it go, because it's not fueling you anymore. It's not serving a purpose, and it's not healthy.
Yeah. And even on the flip side, like away from friendship, just like I've learned so much about myself, especially since moving to LA. I used to be I still am like controlling, and I like to control things, but it used to be so much worse. And I really have to credit Seamus for this, because when he moved in, I realized I had to let go of these habits that I created in myself, which is like, I really like a clean space. And if there was, like when I had roommates, if there was like stuff downstairs, which is our common area, you're leaving stuff down here, I would literally passive aggressively put it at their doorstep of their bedroom door. And like now looking back at it, I probably would have been pissed if somebody did that to me. But like Seamus taught me, like, you have to just be happy in your space and let it go, and realize that, hey, you do share this space with somebody else. Yeah. So like I had to let go of that like terrible habit, because
But
it really,
it's a learning process.
yeah. And like I can admit that now, but it was definitely hard in the beginning, because I think he got upset and he would kind of call me out on it. Like, why is this here?
Well,
and I'm like, well, you left it
living
downstairs. And he's like, right, I pay half the rent. This is my place too. And I'm like, you're right. Nobody ever called me out on it.
Yeah.
So like that was something that I had to let go, because I loved him. And like this is what he was okay with. Have there ever been any habits that you've had to sort of alter? I mean, you are now living with Garrett for a little bit now. Mm-hmm. So has there been something that you've had to let go of?
I am very comfortable living by myself. Growing up, obviously I had a half sister, but she didn't really live in the house. So I am very used to my own space. I call it only child syndrome. It's not fair to say, because I'm not an only child, but I have tendencies. I know, Jill, you see them. I know my other friends see them, and I try to be aware of them. And sometimes it's funny, we can laugh it off, but it has definitely taken some adjusting. I mean, before we lived together, we were together all the time anyways, but it is very nice to go home to your own space. And that is definitely something that I'm working through. However, it is nice, the job that he has, because he is gone for 24 hours at a time being a firefighter. So I do get to be like alone and kind of, but I need that to be sane. Mm-hmm. But yeah, me as well. I am very much a boss. It's my way or the highway. And you can't have that mentality when you're cohabitating with somebody. Mm-hmm. You have to be very mutual and come to agreements, and it's a whole mindset change. And he's very good with me. I'm very good with him. We're patient. But yes, I think I need to be a little less all about me and more all about us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you'll learn.
But it's part of the. I so believe in living together before you're married, because it's not easy. It's not easy to go cohabitate. Is that a right word?
Yeah,
I keep
cohabitate.
saying that. Yeah.
I always joke, and Seamus will be the first one to tell anybody this, but it's like, he's made me messier, because like he's made me be okay with filth. And like I will say that I am the person that cleans generally, and he will definitely, if I ask him to do something, he will do it. But man, like I've had to let go of a lot.
See, I'm the opposite. Garrett is a neat freak. And I'm clean, but I can definitely let things go a little bit more. But for me, it is also hard because I have lived with my cats for 5 years, and it's just part of having animals. They're gonna shed. You do what you can. But he has a dog, but at his parents' house. But it's just hard. It's hard, and I don't think he realized before how much I cleaned before he came over, because he didn't really have to deal with the cat fur that much. But you give that thing 24 hours, and there's a lot of it, and it's especially during the summertime, they're shedding everywhere. So it's just part of living with animals, and we're working on it. We're working on it, but we're good. We're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wondering, have you guys out there ever let go of something that you loved and you had to change and evolve? We're curious, so please let us know, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Boss Please Pod. And don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe on iTunes. Navigate the path to your best self with us, because bossing together is always better.